are the tools and materials you need to make a flute. You need some hot water, some 13mm diameter polypipe cut to 508mm, the same polypipe cut to 30mm, a piece of wooden dowel cut to 15mm, a Stanley knife, scissors, painter's tape, a drill and a drill bit of 5.5, and optional decoration tape. I'm just going to take the painter's tape and run it along the polypipe, because the polypipe is black and a little bit difficult to draw markings on. So smooth it along there. Doesn't have to be perfect. All right, first thing we're going to do is work on the fipple. So I'm going to measure 62mm from the top, my measuring tape. And just mark that. After that, I'm going to measure 30 mils from that line down there, and just make a marking across like so. Then I'm going to take my drill bit and drill 2 holes slightly in from those lines. So you want the edge of the circle to be on the edge of the line, the circle to be in between those 2 lines. So that's one done. To make another one, try to get it as spot on as possible. And there are the 2 holes. So this is making the fipple. The next step, I've taken the tape off slightly and I'm going to put it into some hot water. I just boiled this in the kettle earlier. Just going to leave it there. This softens the polypipe to make it easier to carve in. After some time, just take it out and take your Stanley knife and cut between these 2 holes. And it's always good to cut away from you. Do it slowly because it can go quite quickly. Like that. So, and then just start carving out. And that is your fipple. So while the polypipe is still warm, we're going to cut a slanted bit towards the fipple. So we're going to angle it away from us and cut on an angle towards the fipple, and then cut inside the fipple just a little bit. I've already done some of this off camera, and just ever so slightly to make it easier for the air to pass through. And as you can see, it just creates the tiniest bit of a slope for the air to pass through much more easily. So what we just created was the fipple. Next, we're taking the piece of dowel and shoving it in. It will take a little bit of persuasion, but it should be 13 mil, so it should slide in and be very tight. Just grab a pencil and push it down. So now we have the fipple and the piece of dowel between, roughly in the middle of the 2. Next, we're just going to measure the finger holes. So make sure it's straight down from the fipple. And the first hole is going to be 96 millimeters from the bottom. Measure it here. And we're just going to keep measuring all the way up the pipe. Next, using the same drill bit as before, we're just going to drill the finger holes on where we just measured. We're just going to strip tape back, and there we have some nice clean holes. Last part, we're just going to make a cover on the fipple. So we're going to take this 3 centimeter piece of poly pipe and cut about 1 centimeter out of the back, a little less, with scissors. So it looks like this. Then we're just going to clip it on like this. So it should sit on, and slide it up to where the dowel is here. And that's your flute. And what I'm going to do is decorate mine with this tape. So this is the finished flute. I've decorated it with some tape. And now I'm going to demonstrate how to play. You can change pitch by moving your fingers, and I have the finger chart on the website. But you can also change the pitch by how much you blow air into it. So if you blow only a small amount of air, it's very quiet and very low. Then if I blow higher, it should go up the octave and also up fifths. So you have to keep that in mind when you're trying to make particular notes. So I'm going to play from G to G, going up an octave, and I have to push more air through as I'm going up. Slightly out of tune depending on how much air you put in. So for example, these notes up here, I need to blow more air into to get those upper octaves. Or if I don't blow much air. So that's how you can get different notes out of this flute.